How's it going? This is Mike, and today we're doing Learning About Video Games series, and I'm gonna break down this mod of Medieval 2 Total War. It's pretty cool, and I got a mod on the internet, and let's check it out. So, you can do 6 campaigns. You type 1 for the first campaign, 2 for the second, etc. You could do the Crusades campaign, the Renaissance campaign, the New Age campaign, the Mongol invasion campaign, the Four Continents campaign, which is similar. You can do the Empires campaign, which is the whole entire world, basically. That one's kind of hard. We're going to stick with the second campaign is what I'm going to show you today. I just want to highlight some differences between this and the base game of Medieval 2. Now, there's a lot of similarities. You have similar factions, structures, etc. But it's a lot bigger. And there's a lot more new rules you need to take into consideration. I'm not telling you my password either. So check this out. This is a completely new thing. Now, the year is 1333 right now. It takes place a little bit later than the base game of Medieval 2, which is like 1080 it starts. I mean, we have some decent footholds in Africa and Italy, and we have trade from the north. We're not incredibly powerful, but we're getting there. We have a crusade going with mercenary troops assisting.
Your orders, noble one.
Our ruler is pretty honorable. Everything's pretty similar to what you would expect from regular Medieval 2, but there's one thing that's really interesting that changes the whole dynamic of this game. I'll put my merchant right there, who cares? Okay. Now, we picked Genoa, it's Italy. It's pretty much the same as other Italian factions. We have a lot of allies. Now, I'll tell you why, okay? Normally, I don't have lots of allies because they're unreliable and they'll betray you at any minute, but a lot of factions here have allies, and for good reason. It's a pretty big map, and there are lots of enemies that can attack you. You can't do everything by yourself. But it's not just that. There's one other thing, like, I noticed this when I was playing as Scotland too, okay?
Friend, I'm always
Now,
ready to deal with you
my
and
Scotland
your kin.
save file is still available too. I can honestly put this in this video and showcase what I'm talking about. Now, you cannot attack your allies. In ordinary Medieval 2, you can attack your allies at any moment. You can make a peace treaty and get money from them and attack them immediately after and break it. This changes the whole dynamic of it, okay? Now, if I am an Italian, which I am, Genoa, and I'm right next to the Pope, he's right here, I have to be allied to him because otherwise he's gonna attack me straight away. And I have to be allied to these guys, pretty much, and the only way they can attack me is if they send a diplomat and declare the alliance over. Then they would attack me and get excommunicated because I'm controlled by the Pope. That's pretty normal. But it does change the dynamic of the game. If you want to talk about your starting position, how important that is in a game like Medieval 2, where your starting location determines everything that's going to happen to you, who you're going to fight in the game, what you're going to do. Everyone close to the Pope, to the center of this map, like right here in this area, this box, has a better position. You could start your empire over in India, sure, but you're not going to have lots of opportunities to expand quickly. You're going to slowly roll over and try and stop the West. That's an interesting kind of campaign. It's kind of slower, but you know, it's just the
Yes,
whole
my lord.
dynamic is changed, and I'm not sure it's for the better, but
Your
this
orders,
game is
number one.
definitely interesting. Now, I'll show you my Scotland campaign too. Okay? I'm not gonna save any of the Scotland campaign because I want to save my Genoa campaign too. But yeah, something similar is pretty much going down. No, this isn't right. Maybe I saved it and titled it Scotland. I don't know. Anyway, we should save this and title it Genoa. Let's check this out. Now, this game is pretty interesting. Maybe I clicked the wrong thing, but let's just see. It's 1333. I'm pretty sure my Scotland campaign is already saved over. I saved it as Scotland and didn't think about it. But whatever, that's okay. The point I'm trying to make is pretty much that difference. Okay, now the difference is you just can't attack
Your orders, number one.
any.
Yes.
You really can't attack any of your allies without breaking that agreement.
Orders.
You have to send a
Orders.
diplomat and break it, and a diplomat's almost
Greetings
like a
to the
military
royal
unit.
address,
You
my
have to
lord.
deploy him to attack,
God's servant.
and your troops won't do it otherwise. So yeah, you got a crusade, you've got to have your allies
Infidel.
staying true. So in a larger campaign like this, maybe the developers felt that you couldn't have alliances being broke all the time, or crusades and jihads would never work on such a large map. Which is kind of true, because everyone would just backstab each other all the time. So there's less of an intertangled web of alliances. There's some, like, blocks of power. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's just sporadic fighting between neighbors, I guess. They're enemies with the French. Scotland is usually not enemies with the French. They're usually enemies with England. We're kind of enemies with Aragon. We took their island. We took this African region, almost. All of Africa.
Your orders.
Now, I might cover one of these bigger games in the future, but I just more or less wanted to explain the difference and what I felt about it. It's pretty interesting. It's just something different, you know? I mean, I don't understand it completely, but that doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, I like how you can actually have an alliance and they don't betray it. It's sort of like in Rome, Total War. You have to have enough power with the people and the Senate in order to take control of Rome and defeat your enemies. Your alliances won't betray you. Your allies won't betray you at the beginning of the game, but later on they will. And there's kind of like a seat of power with the Pope, obviously, just like any other game. So it's interesting to see that, and I might play a campaign of that in the future. So anyway, guys, we're gonna sign out. We might play some more of this game in a bit. Like and subscribe for more videos, new stuff coming soon. Peace.